when the Russian army kills the wife of a normal teacher. Then that teacher becomes a dangerous sniper. Will he be able to get his revenge? Watch full video to see this. At the beginning of the movie, we see a desolate place in Ukraine. Here, we see a teacher named Mykola and his wife living in a small shack. Mykola loves his wife very much. Mykola's wife becomes pregnant. One day, she gifts Mykola an angel made of wood. Mykola was a teacher and used to go to the nearby school to teach on his bicycle. There were no electronics in Mykola's house. One day, he hears the news that people are being killed in Russia, and the Russian government wants to invade Ukraine. Now, Mykola goes to his class to teach the children. He teaches the children with a lot of love, but in the same class, there was a bully boy who didn't like Mykola at all. He always thought about how to get Mykola out of the school. However, Mykola never got angry at the boy's actions. One day, when Mykola was going to teach the children, he noticed some soldiers on the way but didn't pay much attention and went to his school. However, upon reaching the school, he saw that it was completely empty. Then he heard the news on the television that the Russian army had invaded Ukraine and taken control. Now, Mykola realized that the soldiers he saw on the way were Russian soldiers. Mykola rushed back home because his wife's life was in danger. When he reached home, he witnessed Russian soldiers attacking and killing his wife. When Mykola tried to save her, a soldier grabbed him and started beating him as well. Mykola pleaded with the soldier not to harm his wife as she was pregnant, but they didn't listen and set their house on fire. Seeing their house burning, Mykola's wife throws stones at the soldiers, but one of them shot her. Mykola's wife died due to the gunshot. Mykola held his wife's body and cried loudly. Now, Ukrainian soldiers arrive. They feel saddened by Mykola's condition. They start digging a grave for Mykola's wife and ask him to bury her here. Mykola, filled with grief and seeking revenge, he asks the Ukrainian soldiers to include him in their army. He wants to become a soldier and fight against the Russian army. Mykola decides to keep the wooden angel gift from his wife with him before heading to the base. When he reaches the army base, the commander is hesitant to let him join, suspecting that he might be a spy. However, Mykola shares his tragic story, telling the commander that the Russian soldiers burned his house and killed his wife, leaving him with no reason to live except seeking revenge. He vows to bring peace to his country and prevent the Russian army from destroying any more homes. Hearing his determination, the commander finally agrees to enlist Mykola in the army, and his training begins. Mykola has never handled guns before and struggles to assemble one during training. While other soldiers quickly put their guns together, Mykola takes the longest time. Everyone thinks that he can never become a good soldier. However, Mykola was determined to excel in his training to become a skilled sniper. During one of the training sessions, he asked his senior to call him Raven instead of Mykola. The senior soldiers laughed, explaining that such secretive names are not easily earned, and a lot of hard work is required. Nevertheless, Mykola was relentless in his training. Even during the nights when all the soldiers were asleep, he would continue practicing. One day, the commander informed the soldiers that they were short of snipers and asked if anyone was interested in becoming one. Only a few soldiers raised their hands, including Mykola. Everyone was amused, and the commander questioned Mykola's decision, pointing out that he couldn't even assemble a gun properly, so how could he become a sniper? Undeterred, Mykola confidently asserted that he could become a good sniper and challenged the commander to test him. The commander decided to give him a chance and set a challenge. Mykola had to assemble the gun in just 20 seconds. With determination in his eyes, Mykola started assembling the gun, and to everyone's surprise, he completed it in just 18 seconds. The onlookers were amazed and applauded him, changing their perception of him. Following this incident, Mykola's sniper training began, and he devoted himself wholeheartedly to it. Eventually, the day arrived when all the soldiers were being handed sniper guns. However, Mykola received an old and faulty gun that wasn't working properly. Disappointed, he approached his senior and requested a new gun. The senior gazed at him and explained that he had to prove himself as a capable sniper before receiving a new gun. Mykola was determined to show his worth and prove that he deserved the new gun. He continued his rigorous training and worked hard to excel in the art of sniping. Now, the training of all the snipers begins. Their senior instructs them that when they aim at their target, no matter what happens, they must remain steady and not move away from their target. They need to maintain their focus solely on the target. The senior goes to each sniper one by one, and they have to shoot their rifles while he watches. Any sniper who shows even the slightest hesitation or fear while shooting is immediately removed from the training. When the senior comes to Mykola and shoots near him, he remains completely unfazed. He doesn't even flinch. When Mykola aims at his target, the senior comes up to him and says that he can only look at his target once and then he places something in front of his eyes. Now, when Mykola takes the shot, his aim goes off. However, everyone knows that if he were given the correct gun and nothing was placed in front of his eyes, his aim would be perfect. During the night, there is a night suit test where they have to aim at their targets in the darkness. After firing the flare gun, they show them their targets. Everyone takes their shots, but Mykola's shot doesn't hit the target. Then, Mykola visualizes the target in his mind, estimates the aim, and fires the shot, which hits the bullseye perfectly. Something that no one had ever done before, Mykola accomplished it. The results for everyone had already been declared earlier. The senior salutes Mykola and tells him that he has passed. Following this, Colonel assigns Mykola an important mission and instructs him to check all the necessary equipment as he has to go on a crucial mission. Mykola's first mission was to free a checkpoint that the Russian army had taken control of. He reaches the location with his teammates. Each of them is given a target to shoot at their respective positions. As they were about to take their shots, they notice a car heading towards the checkpoint. Colonel forbids everyone from shooting as the Russian army was stopping the car, which had a couple inside. The Russian soldiers had taken their passports and beating them. Then, the colonel orders all the snipers to shoot, and in one swift motion, all the snipers bring down the Russian army. Their first mission was accomplished successfully, and everyone returns to the base happily. However, Mykola notices that his other teammates are missing, and he learns that they went on another mission. Mykola also discovers that many of his comrades have been killed in this mission, all taken down by a single sniper who happens to be the best in the Russian army. A few days later, they receive their next mission. They reach the location where the Russian army was planning to take control. Mykola, along with his teammates, plants bombs and hides in the grass, waiting for the Russian army to arrive. After a while, the Russian army starts to approach the area. To his surprise, among the soldiers, Mykola spots the same person who used to bully him in school, and now he has joined the Russian army. When the colonel instructs them to take their shots, Mykola hesitates for a moment as he doesn't want to kill his former student. However, he regains control of his emotions and manages to aim at the bomb, causing a massive explosion that takes down all the Russian soldiers. Later, Colonel comes to Mykola and asks him what he was thinking. Mykola tells him that one of the Russian soldiers was his former student. The colonel explains that the lad chose to join the traitors, so Mykola shouldn't feel bad about taking him down. After this, they all return to their base, and Colonel spends most of his time with Mykola, now having complete trust in him. Colonel reveals that he has two daughters who are unaware of his position as a colonel in the army. He tells Mykola that he pretends to be a successful businessman to them. Mykola, in return, shows the colonel his wife's final letter, which deeply moves him emotionally. Later, they set out on their next mission, which was a significant battle. All the snipers dig deep trenches to hide and wait for the Russian army to arrive. The purpose of their mission was to prevent the Russian army from taking control of that area. Both Colonel and Mykola were present, and Mykola notices the soldier who killed his wife among the enemy ranks. The soldier was right in Mykola's crosshairs. Mykola asks the colonel if he can take the shot, seeking revenge for his wife. However, the colonel advises against it. Mykola asks again if he can take the shot, as he desperately wants to avenge his wife. Mykola's mission was to seek vengeance for his wife, but he was struggling to keep his emotions under control. Finally, he takes the shot and successfully eliminates the soldier who had killed his wife. This time, the Russian soldier becomes aware of Mykola's actions. Colonel asks Mykola to what he did. Suddenly, another sniper takes a shot at the colonel, killing him. Chaos ensues as the soldiers start throwing bombs in retaliation. Mykola retrieves the colonel's body and brings it back to the base, feeling devastated because his actions indirectly caused the colonel's death. He swears an oath to find the sniper responsible and avenge the colonel's death. Mykola sets out on his next mission alone, determined to locate the sniper's position. He manages to identify the sniper's location and takes him down with a well-aimed shot. However, in the process, another sniper shoots Mykola, injuring him. Despite his injury, Mykola takes down the second sniper as well. Wounded, Mykola hides in a covert location to wait for his injury to heal. During this time, he receives a call from his superior, Head, who informs him that they have located the sniper who killed the colonel. Mykola is instructed to return to the base immediately. Back at the base, the training resumes, and Mykola is warned about the deadly sniper. His reputation as a skilled and dangerous sniper precedes him. This sniper not only kills Ukrainian soldiers but also makes videos of the killings, spreading fear and breaking the morale of the army. Head informs them that they will split into two groups. The Russian sniper is inside a building, and they plan to attack him to take advantage of the situation. While everyone distracts the Russian army, Mykola will sneak inside and eliminate the sniper. Once they land, they follow the plan accordingly. Each member takes their position near the building, successfully diverting the attention of the Russian army. Seizing the opportunity, Mykola enters the building and kills the Russian sniper. He then instructs his teammates to clear their path. Together, they open fire on the Russian army and eliminate them. However, the hidden sniper inside the building remains untouched, the one whom Mykola wanted to kill. Curious as to why none of the soldiers responded to his challenge, Mykola climbs to the rooftop to check. There, he finds the Russian sniper already dead. Perplexed, he returns to his position. Suddenly, he sees a crafted angel figure, resembling his wife. Realizing it was a trap, he leaps from the rooftop and kills the hidden sniper. When the other sniper tries to make a sound, Mykola throws a bomb and eliminates him too. As the second sniper had informed the Russian army about the Ukrainian army, they were headed there. Unknown to them, their snipers were already dead. Mykola had cunningly intercepted the call and given a warning to the second sniper. Thus, as the Russian army arrives, Mykola greets them with a clear advantage, leading to their defeat. After saying this, Mykola shoots the Russian driver, who had all the Russian soldiers inside the vehicle. Now, all of them step out of the vehicle, unaware that Ukrainian snipers have already targeted them and are waiting for this moment. Suddenly, the Ukrainian snipers rain down bullets, eliminating all the Russian soldiers. With everyone killed, Mykola sadly visits his wife's grave and says that he has avenged her killers and his enemies. Now, he must protect his country, so he has to leave for his next mission. The movie ends here. How did you like this movie recap? Please let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.